Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. It is another week in Raid Shadow Legends, and of course that means another go at the Hydra clan boss. By the way, actually, quick question here right before that we start the video off. Are you guys doing Hydra more now that Hydra is actually dropping these Mortal Soul Stones? For me, I'm clearing Nightmare, Brutal, and Hard now every week. One key, and our clan is killing them. I'm getting approximately, I think last week, for example, I got 11 Mortal Soul Stones total from all of those chests. You know, it does add up. And by the way, if you do want to quickly see the teams, I was running this team before. I have a showcase on this. Check out my Turvold video. It's the same team. And then, what did I do for now? Oh yeah, Nightmare was real sketchy this week because my Royal Guard got eaten really early on, but we still managed to one key it on Nightmare. But again, I've got videos on like Shamrock and stuff showcasing this team. They're the same teams I've shown before. So you can see, yeah, you can see videos on them. It's the same. But what we're doing today, let's dive in and check out the team, guys. Check out the team. Login Champions versus Hydra. Who do we have? We have, of course, the ones that are always there. We've got Sylve the Drakes, the 6th month login champion. We have Vizix, who's actually 2-star Awakened, the 9-month login champion. And then we have the 4 limited edition champions. And I think the fun thing about this is to see, will this team work, first of all? And which of these champions is really going to perform the best? We have Ultimate Death Knight in the lead, giving us a defense in all battles aura. I think that's quite good because he... Vizix and Syl are all defense damage dealers, so it's going to up their damage and it's going to help us sustain through these hits. We have Deliana. Then again, going into a reverse order from when they were released, we have Simple, and then we have Ninja as well. So let's we're going to play it on auto. This is going to be a full auto run. I don't want to really take control of them, and let's dive in and let's go. Let's put it 2x speed. And let's see what they will do. I'll, of course, show you the gear at the end as well. You can see that we do have, in terms of the awakenings that we have in here, which is one of those new things I'm sure you're interested to know, we are running Brimstone on Vizix. I think that is the most important thing, and that's going to give you hopefully a big boost. We're going to see the Brimstone hit in just a second here. I'm going to turn it to 1x speed so we can see how that works. It's really, really good against Hydra. When this head takes a turn, he's going to cleanse everything. And we should see then the Meteor come in and do some pretty good damage. So let's see if he's going to take a turn. He'll take a turn in a minute. Ultimate Death Knight's going to shield us. And here he goes. Look at this. Here we go. The Meteor is going to land in. Bam. You can see almost 100k ticks across the board. Does quite a bit less ahead of Mischief because his max HP is just a good bit lower. On higher difficulties, it always does 100k to everything. Like on Brutal and above, I believe it will always do 100k. And it also does 300,000 to decapitated heads from my testing. And it seems to basically always do that as well. But yeah, as we're coming in here, we can see how's the team working, what is going on, what are some of the fun things that we have happening right here. Well, as you can see, one slight issue with this team, we did have our buffs stolen by Head of Mischief. We're actually in a really bad spot. This is the worst possible thing that can happen, where Sylve the Drakes is our healer and our reviver, but she right now actually has heal reduction on her and a bunch of poisons. So this might actually be a very short run. We might need to restart this one straight away. It's not looking good at all. If Syl goes down, we are in trouble. We're hoping Ultimate Death Knight can get a shield on before she dies. It's really not looking good. I think we might need to restart straight away here. This team already showing some flaws. Okay, the shield goes on. Will it be enough to stay in this? I don't know. We get the heal from Deliana. There's so many poisons on Syl. Okay, she survives and heals herself with the leech, but heal reduction's back on. We're really playing it on hard mode right now. One of the really good things actually that Death Knight does, Ultimate Death Knight does, is he does redirect the boss hits to him 50% of the time. And that can be absolutely super useful. Oh, look at that. We have the Meteor coming in and doing a massive chunk of damage. That can be super useful because it will protect you from those really dangerous things. We're going to get another Meteor hit, I think, when he does his extra turn here. We shall see. But like this buff stealing from Head of Mischief, stealing your buffs, stealing your turn meter, 50% chance that that's going to target Ultimate Death Knight instead. And if we build him with lots of resistance, he is going to protect the team. Fantastically good. Here we go. Meteor comes in. Bam. Nice big hit. Really good. So that's extremely, extremely good. the heal reduction that gets placed here is actually really dangerous. Heal reduction on the lowest health teammate. Again, that chance to redirect it to Ultimate Death Knight can keep you in the game. We've been really unlucky in this run, and it keeps going on to Syl, which is what we don't want to see, because it's putting her in danger of dying. She's been just about kept alive by Ultimate Death Knight shields, but it is getting fairly scary, fairly sketchy. I'm going to be completely honest. It's not looking great still. I'll be much happier when she's fully healed up. And one fun thing I do have with Ultimate Death Knight, you might notice a little bit, which can be quite helpful, is I do have him. Look at that target change right there, protected Syl from getting that heal reduction, which is really what we need to hopefully get her starting to be topped up again. And there she goes. She heals herself with her AoE. I have him in a full set of revenge accessories from the clan shop, which is really going to give him good chances to counterattack as well whenever he redirects hits to him. Unfortunately here, this is a little bit of very bad luck. We have the shield and the Devourer on the same head. Soul Reap comes in there. That was the other blessing we're running from Alexander. And you can see it's really unimpressive. I've done a little bit of testing on this. And Soul Reap, for whatever reason, oh, this is real bad, against the Hydra, really doesn't seem to do too much. And I'm not 100% sure why. But it seems to be very unimpressive. It just doesn't hit that hard. Obviously, he's only 3-star ascended. I can pretty much tell you right now, it's absolutely not worth running that blessing for Hydra. We'd be better off, I think, with Cruelty. We'd be better off maybe Lightning Shield would be pretty good because there's lots of buffs and turn meter boosts and stuff going out. So I think there's lots of things that we could run that are better, but I did just want to show you that Soul Reap in action. I think one of the problems is it has a pretty long cooldown, and that can definitely hurt us. So let's see, will we be able to break? Here he goes. Look at the Soul Reap. It actually did a good chunk of damage there to Mischief, and that's actually quite good. That was a good... completely counteracting my point. It was a good use there. It buys us the time to actually start nuking down this head and to break our champion free, and there we go. So we're playing on full auto, although that being said, I am going to be targeting heads when they devour champions because the AI doesn't do that yet. I think it'd be much more auto friendly if it did. It'd be a great change to Hydra if they would automatically target heads that devour champions. Oh, here we go. The Head of Wrath has come in. And this could certainly be fairly scary. Head of Wrath does a lot of damage. Luckily, Ultimate Death Knight will provide us with the decrease attack. We've got the Provoke coming in from Vizix, which is going to stop the Head of Decay from cleansing. And this is probably the worst combination of stuff we could have. The Head of Torment is very, very bad for us. It's very scary indeed, because we have no way to deal with fear with this set of champions. There's no way to deal with fear. So we have the counterattack comes in. You can see that. That was a really cool thing that I love doing with my Ultimate Death Knight. Did you see that? We have him with counterattack accessories. His passive kicks in. He redirects a single target hit. And then he counterattacked, which was super useful. Look at that. Big smack comes in. And we are getting fairly nuked down here. That definitely hurt a lot. Oof, big hit. We just need to hopefully see Syl survive. That is the main thing right here. She's going in. She gets a decreased speed out. Hopefully Ultimate Death Knight is building up to a shield fairly soon and it won't get messed up by the True Fear. The True Fear, though, does tick in, and that's what's scary. We have the decrease attack out from Ultimate Death Knight. That's very important. Basically cutting the damage that head will do in half, which is really good. Okay, untarget that at this point. Oh, we've got the Poison Head coming in. Okay. One slight problem with this team. I do not have Deliana booked. And I don't have Alexander booked either. I just never got around to booking those champions. So you can see that is definitely going to be a little bit of a problem. The biggest issue I found with it is that it can... Ooh, big hit coming in. We get the decrease attack back out, though. Is that Deliana will be fairly inconsistent in terms of placing block buffs. It's going to be a really long cooldown on that ability. I think it's actually like a 5-turn cooldown right now. So it takes time to get through, unfortunately. It takes time for her to get through. And if she misses it with the True Fear... we can be just, there's not going to be any sign of a block buffs for ages. And as you can see, I think the two biggest things that we're missing with these login champions right now, we don't have a way to deal with Head of Torment at all. And we don't have a cleanse either. So we really get ripped apart by Head of Torment and by the Fear Head. And there you go. You can see we're just getting destroyed here. Like if we miss some of our heals... like if Ultimate Death Knight doesn't get his A3 out with the shield and the continuous heal because he's feared by Head of Torment, things go real bad real fast. Look at that. Double. Is it back-to-back? Oh, not quite back-to-back meteors coming in there. But we put in an effort. We are going to free this champion still, which is actually okay. We'd love to see another meteor come out from Vizix. Despite us getting smacked around here, we are still in the game. Oh yeah, Ultimate Death Knight, because it's a blue affinity head, on full auto, he is targeting the Head of Torment. So that is not good at all. In fact, they're all targeting Head of Torment. Let's not do that, guys. How about we don't do that? Let's maybe try kill off the Head of Wrath. That might work. We'll target them here at the end. Try get as much out at the end as we can. I don't think it's going to matter. I think we're going to go down. He's got the Poison Cloud on. I guess it doesn't even matter. We get the heal out from Ultimate Death Knight. Will it be enough? Can we proc another Meteor? I think getting to 20 million at this point is looking a bit sketchy. Though we almost have some of these heads dead. If we could get some kills in there, there is a chance. Oh, it's not looking good, though. It's not looking good. We have the Meteor out, but this head is not close to anything. And there we go. 15.46 million damage dealt on hard difficulty in about 8 minutes with this team. Not the 1 key. We're looking for 20.6 for that. But we can see when we look at the damage dealt overall, I think there's some pretty stark stuff happening here. I think it's quite funny. The thing that really stands out to me is poor old Alexander is just really not good for Hydra at all. Again, he is unbooked. That is totally fair. But I think a good comparison is Deliana. Deliana is also unbooked. Neither of these champions have books. And in fact, Alexander is 3-star awakened and she is not. But we can see in terms of the damage output, Deliana is actually significantly far ahead of Alexander. She's doing a lot more damage than he is with these builds, and she's also bringing us healing. She brings the block buffs. He is giving us decreased defense, which is upping our damage, and that's nice, but really that damage is really unimpressive. I mean, he's doing the same damage as Ultimate Death Knight and Syl, so that's definitely not good. You compare it to Ninja, who's way ahead in the damage, and Vizix with the Meteor is definitely pulling ahead as well with 2.8 million damage. It's really not bad. In terms of the healing as well, we can see Ultimate Death Knight is doing quite a lot of healing. Deliana is doing a good chunk of healing. These little healing numbers are from Leech, and then Syl is obviously doing the most, but not by a crazy amount. But yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in and let me rerun this. I'll play it on manual to give it the best shot that we can, or mostly on manual. I'll give them the absolute best shot that we can. We'll see if we can get the 1 key on a manual run, and yeah, we'll see where we end up. But let me know, was this what you expected? I'll be right back and I'll tell you what I think and how I would rate these champions in a minute. I'll be right back. And there we go, guys, the final results. You can see massive difference here playing on manual. And of course, there's obviously some luck involved in that as well in terms of which heads show up. The big difference I think that manual makes here is that we are able to, for example, a couple of times time Deliana's block buffs a little bit better, which is very helpful because she's got very bad uptime unbooked. We were able to really prioritize Ultimate Death Knight's A1 as an extra provoke onto Head of Decay. That made an absolutely huge difference. That was actually probably the main things really that playing on manual did change. And we can see compared to the first run, I think broadly speaking, the picture still looks the same. Ninja even more dominantly, I think, in the front this time around, 16 million. He is just so far ahead of the others in terms of damage. This time, Alexander is looking a little bit better, but nonetheless, he's still shockingly bad with 3 million damage. Sylve the Drakes outdamaged him. Deliana outdamaged him. It's pretty rough. And then Vizix with the Brimstone is just way ahead. Just a really poor performance. He's not in amazing gear, but he's not in terrible gear either, and he's not booked, but again, nonetheless, it's just pretty rubbish. Let's be honest, he's pretty terrible. And yeah, that was sort of how that went. Yeah, again, if I was to rank these champions, and I'll show you their gear now in a second, if I was to rank them in terms of how good they are for Hydra, for the login champions, I would give number 1 to Ninja. Really no surprise, just the amount of damage he puts out is really impressive. Number 2, I think I would actually give to Ultimate Death Knight. I think with his passive, redirecting the heal reduction, redirecting some of the damage, right? Redirecting the buff steals onto himself. I think that's super useful for protecting your team. He actually does a ton of healing for your team. He's actually a really good healer. The shield is very useful as well. The decrease attack is really good. The provoke is really good. I think he's fantastic for Hydra, actually. I think he's actually extremely good. Really good. Do not sleep on Ultimate Death Knight. Third place, I would give probably to Vizix, although of course the Brimstone's making her look a bit better. But the AoE decreased speed with ally protection is useful, and the guaranteed provoke every 3 turns is really good. So I think she's probably around about third. Very close though to Deliana. I think they're both pretty good. Deliana unbooked is definitely a bit rough, but she puts out pretty reasonable damage, and the block buffs is useful. Her passive is good as well. She does a decent chunk of healing. Syl is not terrible. Obviously, she does good healing. Her damage isn't awful. She's giving you some extra increased speed, some extra decreased speed, but you know, a good chunk of the value is lost because her stun doesn't work, and I do have her in a stun set. So building with high resistance and higher speed, maybe Relentless would be certainly better for this. So there's that to bear in mind. Maybe she should be ranked a bit higher. And then really, there's no question that by far in the last is Alexander. He's just really bad. Could be completely honest. He's just really bad. We're actually going to keep this result. I'm totally fine with this. Let's lock it in. There we go. Hard carried by Ninja. Really no question. Yeah, Ninja doing the job. I mean, we did not too bad here. We're 5th out of everyone here, which is quite fun. Rocking in with these champs. So there you go. You can see Ninja showing up here as well. Like in this team, yeah, Ninja's doing tons of damage. Obviously, Sisya really pumping it out as well. But yeah, to show you their gear and what we were rocking with. Alexander, so you can see, like I said, he's not in terrible gear, not in amazing gear. I have him at 4.8k attack, 218% crit damage, so it's not very high. He's 216 speed, and he does have about 219 accuracy. It's kind of awkward to build him up because he does need good accuracy, which, well, I mean, it's not good, but it's okay accuracy. So that he can land his decreased defense. He needs good speed to put decreased defense out early. It was just really hard to actually get him hitting hard and also being good speed and also having enough accuracy. Getting him into Savage was just not possible. So he's just an awkward champion to build. It'd be so much easier, for example, the decreased defense was irresistible or something. Then it'd be so much better. But yeah, really underwhelming. He's obviously not booked, so his damage would have gone up like 15% there, 20%, 20%. Obviously, the cooldown reduction coming off them would have been useful. The buff removal was actually pretty okay against Head of Wrath. That was kind of nice, but it's such a long cooldown at 5 turns unbooked. Yeah, unfortunately. It's decent. It's a good aura, but really underwhelming. Soul Reap was also pretty poor. Definitely not worth running in Hydra. Certainly not at tier 3, whereas like you have to execute once every 3 turns. This will certainly get better when it's higher up, but I definitely don't think this wasn't wowing me for sure. It wasn't doing that much damage, obviously. But yeah, that's what he was geared up like. It's the best. I don't know. Maybe in better gear he'd do better and booked up, but it's just really underwhelming. Vizix, she's in the same gear she's always been in. 4.3k defense, 230 speed, 300 accuracy. She does have some crit rate and good HP. She's got a big chunk of HP from the Blessing. And she was rocking, obviously, with Brimstone. This is really good for her when she's this low rank. Like, for a 1-star, even 2-star, this is great. Obviously, as this goes higher up, it's going to be better on a single target damage dealer. So you can pick it, or single target champion, I should say. So you can pick and choose who's going to get debuffed. But, yeah, just for getting Smite out consistently, it's really, really good because she's got so many AoE attacks. She's got, you know, this is a 3-turn, this is a 3-turn. So she's pumping it out. She has War Master. I don't know if I showed Alexander's Masteries. He is in with War Master as well. Then for our other lock-in champion, Stelliana, again in with War Master. She is not booked, as you can see. And she is coming in like this. So she has high HP, good speed, crit rate, and then some accuracy. So very similar to Vizix, but just with more of a focus on HP. She was in Guardian set to help keep the team alive, and I think she did a good job. She was good. Ultimate Death Knight, definitely a real star. I don't quite have him at 100,000 power. He's in full set of Stone Skin for Arena, and he's got also a full set of Revenge accessories. So each one of these giving him a 5% chance to counterattack, which is very useful. And we've built him with high resistance, and that's mostly it. Really high resistance, guys. And then he has a ton of defense as well, almost 5,000 defense. His speed is reasonably high, I would say. He doesn't need to be this high for Arena. So I've got him in very good gear. I'd say this is actually the best gear, probably. We're looking a lot of 6-star gear. We've got some 6-star mythic gear. This is definitely, and obviously having all the revenge, this is the most geared up character probably I'm showing here. This is really, really good. So you probably won't be able to get him as good. If you're doing the same sort of thing, I really recommend getting the resistance high. That is important if you want to use him for Hydra. You know, 400 plus would be really good. And then about the 200 plus accuracy, so we can land the decrease attack that provokes. And then speed, if you can get it, you could kind of skimp on the defensive stats a bit. He's got really good base defensive stats, so he should be plenty tanky even without that. And for Arena and Dungeons and stuff, with Stone Skin, he's never going to die, really. So, yeah, his masteries, he is built like this at War Master and some counter-attacky type stuff. We had Ninja. He's coming in with War Master and extending his debuffs. And he is in Lifesteal to try to keep him alive. And he is just going very, very fast. We tried to build him fairly tanky. You can see we're not building him crazy for damage, just high accuracy, good speed, and trying to up some of the defensive stats. I might even rebuild him at some point, to be honest, make him go even faster, even tankier, and ditching more offensive stats, because a lot of his damage is really coming from blowing up the HP burn. Yes, he hits hard, but it's mostly the burn that's doing the work, really. Syl is in stun set, useless for Hydra, but, you know, that's what I use her for in like Doom Tower and Faction Wars, that sort of thing. She is coming in again fast, more accuracy than we need. She does have 100% crit rate because she does actually hit kind of hard. She's got, funny enough, 63% baseline crit damage. And yeah, that's basically what she is doing. And she's coming in with these masteries. And I think that was, that's everyone, isn't it? I think so. I think that's all of them. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought it was kind of fun to see. Obviously, it's a bit of a weird one. Like, you got to be pretty far into the game to have Ninja, for sure. Like, Ninja was out over a year ago, so it's not going to be super useful to people. You could obviously put in Cronam instead of Ninja, but, you know, that's a massive grind, so not super recommended. And he was really hard carrying the damage, but certainly you could build a similar team. Ultimate Death Knight is fantastic. Vizix is fantastic. Deliana is a good solid option who's been a pretty recent champ as well. So you put in the 3 of those. Sylve the Drakes, 6-month login champion. That's a fine support to stick in. And then replace Ninja with another damage dealer and replace Alexander with someone that doesn't suck as well. And you're going to be much better off. A different decreased defense champion and then another damage dealer. And yeah, I mean, like, our accuracy stats were mostly overkill. You're not too far off being able to build, I think, a fairly successful 1-key Hydra key with this style of team, especially when you get that Brimstone. It definitely adds a chunk of damage to your team, and any of them can carry it. It's great on Brimstone is very good on Syl. it'd be very good on really any of them. Syl would be the ideal one, but you could really put it on anyone, and it's going to be just fine. Ninja, obviously, you'd run in Brimstone as well. Gives some health and accuracy, and it's good against bosses. That's what Ninja does. So it would go straight onto Ninja, straight onto Syl. Yeah, there you are. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was a little bit of fun. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.